going on, everybody? Let me turn this off. Hold on. I have about 60% on battery. Should be enough to mow. Now, I mow this property generally every 2 weeks, but because we've had a ton of rain, it's been several weeks since I've been out here, so it's overgrown pretty bad. So it's about an acre. It's an acre property, and we mow about 98% of it. So we're going to start here, and then this goes around the corner. We'll set the camera up over there. We got here, it's overgrown, and then it goes over there, and then we got the backyard to do. So we're going to be using our mower, our Z148. Let's get started. Ferris mowers don't mess around, guys. The reason I was leaning so hard one way or the other is because it's real muddy in there. So I could tell by the way the no, hold on, let me turn this on. I could tell by the way the mower was shifting in the ground, you know, dipping to one side, the other side. So that I was pushing my weight on the harder side. In other words, the side that didn't want to give as much, to try to keep the weight over there, because you know the soft side, you know, wants to sink, especially get on down there. So all right, so we're now there's a channel that goes from here all the way up to that. There's a pond back there. It's for drainage. So once we can only do this area, then I'll move the camera up here so it could get up there. You'll see what I'm talking about. But it's pretty thick stuff. This Ferris is so agile. That's just why the stand-on mowers, like if I had a zero turn, I would have been stuck in the first 5 minutes. I appreciate all you guys that are watching. I know it's kind of boring. take a look around the corner. Take you guys with me around this. Well, maybe not. No, it'd be too bouncy. All right, so this actually goes around the corner, but I'm gonna come up there, do all this, and then I'll move around with you guys. With me because there's a lot of ant mounds over there, and I don't want the camera to get, you know, ants and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bumpy because I don't have a, what are those things called? The anti-vibration thingamajig. So I'm going to have to mow one-handed till we get around this corner. I just love my Ferris machines. They're just the best. There's an old Willys Roadster back there. That's a boat I almost bought. No thanks, not interested. That's where we were at over there a minute ago. That's the backyard. I'll show you that here in a minute. It's so cool how you can operate these things with one hand, like no sweat. A gimbal, that's the word I couldn't think of. I'm going to eventually get one mounted on my mower. Let's just go in the backyard. Fuck it. We got to mow all that back there. You know what? I'm just as productive with one hand as I am with two. You ought to see me in the shower. This is definitely an open discharge type of mow today. Alright, I'm going to set you guys up right here so I can maximize my time with the camera live. I know, hold on. Set you guys right here in the middle of the poison ivy. I don't mow this area, so I'll do the best I can. you guys a little lower, get a different perspective of the, I don't know, really can't tell on that high pump. I do a little bit of trimming back here because we don't have since it's kind of overgrown. I wanted to do some of the trimming when I was done. Normally I do trimming first, but because of the overgrowth, I also needed my phone battery to charge up. right, let me drop this post so we can go around that corner. Now we can do the other side of the back and then do the other side of the front. We'll keep the blades rolling. Hold on, let me adjust the camera here for you guys. Hold on. About that. Oh. Okay, I got it. Okay. I wanted to adjust the angle, that way you guys can see a little bit better where the hell we're going. So let's look at that back. That's a big backyard. That's one half of it anyways. Now guys, I'm on an acre. Normally when there's no overgrown, I'm done mowing and trimming in an hour and 15 minutes. It's $130 that I charge them. I've been cutting their grass for about 2 years. Got something in my mouth. Whoa, shit. Whoa. Oh, no wonder. I gotta turn the speed down. Man, I had it kicked up a notch. I can knock that backyard out. It's like fucking Jurassic Park back here. Yeah, we don't do any of that shit. Almost done. Then we gotta head over there and do that. Alright. There's the Starship. Okay, now. Alright, that's the ditch we did. Now this is real soggy. Okay, so that's the little drainage from, yes, I charge $120 an acre, but I charge them $130 because there's a lot of trimming, My other acre properties are $120, and I'm generally done right about an hour. All right, and that's with the 46, maybe hour 15 with the 36. All right, sorry, with the 48, hour 15 with the 36. All right, so now we got to mow all this right here. So I'm gonna set you up right here so we can knock that out. Let's see here. Hold on, guys. Hang in there. I need to see how my battery's doing. Oh, look, the sky. Hey, Shiva Padoozy. Okay, let me check my battery here. Oh, 37%. If I hurry up, I might have enough time on the phone to finish. All right, there you go. I want to show you guys this. There's that's kind of an incline right there. It's kind of a pain in the tail. But we're gonna wrap this mower around that little tree. Whatever it is. These mowers are so agile, man. wanted to share that with you. That's soft ground, but dude, if you're not a puss, these Ferris mowers take you anywhere you want to be, man. Sounds like one of those four-wheeler commercials. Show you guys what good suspension is. Now, you know this turf is bumpy as hell because of all the crawfish. When it floods, they're normally in the ground. They dig all their towers out of the ground. Now it's severely bumpy. Turf is just like that. A good suspension system, if you watch how level my head stays, you know, my upper body and level and everything from the waist down just kind of moves, that means the machine's absorbing a lot of that bumpiness through the suspension system. So I want you to really pay attention to my body, what it's doing. The handles, from the handles down, it's doing its all, you know, moving and moving, but my shoulders and stomach up is pretty steady. That's how you know there's good suspension. So be sure you pay attention here, okay? Let me get you guys a little closer. Actually, I'll get you guys right up on here. There we go. Hopefully it won't. Well, maybe back the other way might be better. Kind of a little too right there on that incline. Okay. All right, here we go. Other side. Now we got to do this gnarly side. So we got all the way down here. Now this side of the ditch is always nasty. I may not be able to mow this side of the ditch. I don't know. It may be too nasty. Get our truck. I told you it may be nasty. All right. Okay, I'm a little winded there. I'm gonna back the truck up. Actually, I gotta turn the truck around. Yeah, I had this corner a lot. It sucks balls. All right. So now we got this baby stuck. Yeah, pretty nasty. That's all right. I was thinking it might have been a little too wet. All right. I'm gonna get the truck. Whew, I'm a little winded. I'm gonna get the truck pulled around. Get you closer. Get the truck pulled around, and then we'll hook up the ropes and we'll pull it right on out. Easy lemon squeezy. Then we'll get right back to work. So give me a second to get the truck. I'll be right back. What I'm thinking, last time I got stuck, which was this property over there with the zero turn, well, I got stuck here. I got stuck at another acre property. That's why I got rid of the zero turns, because they stick a lot easier. But I think I think I'm gonna hook up a chain or rope to that tie down on that trailer, that corner, and then hook it to here and then pull across the street. As soon as it gets on pavement, I'll disconnect. Pull getting that down. All right. Fine. Go straight across. Oh, we need to. You need to put it in neutral. You got to unlock the tranny. All right. Deck's all the way up. Handstand. All right. Here, hold on a second. Roll these things down. I don't need all that. All right, we're gonna wrap it a couple of times. All right. All right. Now we're just gonna go straight across the street. Should be okay. We're going to angle the camera so you guys can see what we're going to be doing here. Should be all right. I hope so anyway. All right, so we know not to go that far left or that far into the ditch. All right, so let's continue on mowing. We still got mowing to do. Let's check out. Let's hit. Nasty. All right, let's get on this side in the shade. You can see the grass a little bit better. All right, let's check our time on our battery, our charge. I mean, 27%. It's gonna be close, guys. Let's get the cut. Look at these gnarly ruts, dude. Look at that. I can put my foot in there. Oh shit, almost fell on my. Let's do it. appreciate all you guys who've been sticking around. Said I know it's boring. So whenever it's overgrown like that on this ditch, we wait till it dries out, and I can come back and either with the trimmer or with the mower. Still got the sun and still got this, and then around the corner. that right there. Just a little closer. Couple passes and this one will be done. That's it for the hole. Might have some time for the questions. Oh, we got 19 minutes or 19%. Plenty of time for me to. All right, let me get back to the. Hold on. All right, we got 19% left on the battery. Let's go and get the mower back to the trailer and lock it up. And I probably have enough time to go down. Well, I can hop in the truck and get the AC going, get the charger going on the phone. I'll still run live and I'll answer some questions. So hold on, guys. All right, got that knocked out. That was pretty nasty. Here's a little look at the backyard. A corner of it anyways. All right, let's get back to that truck. Nasty. Let me adjust this camera a little bit. There we go. Got a stick in my wheel. Man, I'm thirsty as hell. Oh wait, let's look at this right here. Oh, that should be a historical marker. Hey, you know what? Let's go take a look at the side of this house real quick. And then I'll hop in the truck and answer some questions. There's that field we did. This is the side of the house. Now I'm gonna do two versions of this video. If I'm able to download it, I'm gonna cut all the noise and do a commentary, and then of course leave this one up. So now that right there is a channel that goes into the drainage to that little pond back there. But yeah, that's a lot that we do, man. Now it would have been done a lot faster if it wasn't for you guys. But it was a little overgrown too. It was pretty bad. Alright, let me get this loaded up. We'll hop in the truck and answer some questions. gotta go in our yellow rope over there too. For now, let's sit in this truck, get the AC going, and we'll blow everything off. After we say goodbye, of course. Whew. Okay guys, let me collapse this tripod here. I'm trying to do it fast. I know you guys are like, what's up with this shit? Alright. Okay. Alright. Switch. Okay. Whew, man. Oh, I gotta blow my nose to get all that shit out. That's the snot rag. This is the wipe your face rag. Okay, let's plug this guy in. Just gave me a little battery warning. Oh, son of a gun. Ignore. Whatever that is, walker somewhere. Okay. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and back up. First of all, I want to thank everybody for watching the video. We've been running in an hour and a half, which is crazy because, oh, I gotta get some water. It normally takes me, if it's not overgrown, I feel like I'm talking underwater. If it's not overgrown, it's like, and it's not wet, like maybe an hour and 15 minutes, that including the trimming. Maybe hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half. So we did the trimming. First. I had to let the battery charge so I could do it live. So actually, that was about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. So yeah, it was about 2 hours. Hold on, I gotta put some powder in here. Get some of my energy. And I'm gonna answer some questions. I'm just really thirsty. I'm gonna install. Man, I had a water holder container thingamajig on my 36, but it broke off because it was aluminum. So what I'm gonna do is install something else on there so I can have, water with me. All right. So this is a big property, guys. This is an acre. I cut about 98% of it. I charge $138 for this property, and I've been doing it for about 2 years, maybe just under. And we are out in the country, so I haven't seen a snake out here. All right. Okay, we're cooling off now. Let's go back and check all the questions here. All right, love that mowing footage. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. You make that Ferris look impressive. I tell you what, Bob, the slacker, I'm telling you, dude, the Ferris, now, I can't talk about other stand-on mowers because I've never had one. So, and the other brands of defense, my experience with only one brand of stand-on mower is the Ferris. A 36 I ran for 2 years, and then I just bought that 48. The 48 is going to do the same thing as the 36, just more power and 12 inches wider. It's hard to tell in the video, but there's a lot of uneven terrain, especially in the ditch, and it gets soft. Like, you can't tell by watching me, but if you were out here and you were on the mower, and shift that coolness up here. Okay, I'm trying not to blow the AC too hard so that way it doesn't block out the sound. But if you were out here on the mower and you're going through the ditch, you could feel the ground underneath you kind of, shift. And that's why in the beginning of the footage, when I was doing this ditch right here, and you see me on one side of the fender, then on the other side of the fender, it's because I know what part of the ground, is harder. So I'm trying to shift the weight as much as I can to that side. So what'll happen is I'm 260 pounds. Now a guy who may be 150, it's not going to make a difference. But the fact that I can put a little bit of ass into it really makes a difference. So that's what I'm doing. Now, when I got stuck, that ditch, I don't know why, it always takes longer to drain than this up here. So it was pretty nasty. But yeah, so that's why I was shifting around. And those stand-on mowers, that's another thing that makes them really unique and versatile and agile, is because you could shift weight around if you're heavy enough. You can't do that in a zero turn. Now I'm going to do a video, pretty soon about my experiences, differences, and likes and dislikes about zero turn and stand-on. But then I'm also going to talk about the facts about them, and these facts are true information, about these things, not opinions. So when you watch people do reviews and about different things, they really should be giving you two sets of information: the facts about it, like written facts, and their likes and dislikes about something. Because you may not like something because of something, but that may not be why it doesn't do this or that. You know what I'm saying? So and plus, every equipment, it has its own limitations of what it can and can't do, what it can do. So I push these Ferris mowers past their limitations. You're supposed to be mowing, no more than 15 degrees here, this and that, or incline. Man, I don't give a shit, dude. If I hadn't fallen over yet on the properties I'm doing, I'm not going to fall over. So by shifting my weight, that helps. I don't encourage you guys to be unsafe like I am, but these mowers can do a lot. The low center of gravity, the heavy weight really helps with stability. Think of like out in the ocean, they have those buoys. Now the buoys are anchored down to the ground, okay, to the ocean floor. But if you're to pick the buoy up, the main part of that weight would be at the bottom, because that's what's, it's got that big bottom and that little bitty tower that goes up. All right, think of the Ferris mower like that. It's a big buoy. A lot of that weight is right there in the center and kind of towards the bottom. And then up the top, it's not top heavy, like a Jeep would be top heavy. So to me, a zero turn mower is like a Jeep. It's top heavy. Anyways, so the Ferris mowers for me are the stand-on mowers, because I've had the zero turns, are just, dude, you could just go anywhere just about. They do have the bottom, like where the platform is, where you're standing, it is closer to the ground than what most zero turns are. So it doesn't have a high center of gravity. It doesn't have a high center like zero turns generally do. They have a higher, everything underneath the bottom, the crankcase, gear case, whatever, is higher generally on a zero turn than it is on a stand-on. But and also the thing on a stand-on mower, you can lean forward if you need to lean forward and you're going up steep stuff, going this way. And sometimes I go this way and I'm mowing, the mower's this way, my body is standing this way. I have some properties like that too, because I don't want to push mow that part. I don't want to use the trimmer of that part. If the machine can do it, you can bet I'm going to push it to that point. And if I'm paying $8,000, $10,000, $7,000, however much it is, the machine, needs to do what I need it to do on the types of terrains that I'm doing. So that's why I stuck with Ferris. And the Walker mower, I already have it up for sale in case some of you guys didn't know. I bought it Tuesday of this week. Today's Friday. So hold on. Man, I'm thirsty. So the Walker mower, other than it being too wide, it's the smallest mower they got. It's breaching almost 40 inches width, and I need no more than 37 inches. So I got rid of the Walker because, it doesn't cut as good, as I was hoping it would. Now on some of this grass out here, I think the backyard, it may cut good because it's a softer grass, but maybe not. No, I've tried it on different types of grasses of the different properties,
and the different terrains. Not like this kind of terrain, but like, little uneven terrain. It just doesn't cut that well for what I'm cutting. So no disrespect to Walker and the brand. I think those machines are great, and I think they have a lot of ability for the right operator and what they want it to do. But for down here, or what I do, because like that mower, I'll take it and do a real nice, residential property with it right after this. Well, the Walker wouldn't make it through this. I mean, it would on the flatlands, but doing all this other stuff, I just don't think it's as agile. But anyways, all right. So let's get to some of these questions. Sorry about that, guys. All right, time for some glide. Yeah, that's the killer stuff. On the good old fairs, yeah. Where's the Walker? Walker's in the garage, off the grid. It's up for sale, bro. Making me dizzy. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. Let me tell you something about the clothes that I wear. The neck gaiter. I was gonna do a video on this, but I figure most people don't really care. But I'm gonna tell you because it's so important. Whenever you can keep the sun off of your skin, like direct contact, you will feel so much better. You'll feel cooler. You won't get sunburned. Those things like that. This right here is a neck gaiter. And look how thin it is. See how? Look. See? I mean, see. You can see the back right there, right outside my window. Okay. See that? So this is a thin neck gaiter made by Magellan, and it stretches. Look at that. See? There's other neck gaiters out there that guys are wearing that it's too thick and it doesn't stretch enough. So what happens? I experimented with that. What happens is it gets tight around you. It's a thick fabric and it doesn't breathe. You're not comfortable. So I got this at Academy, maybe $12. It keeps me cool. So when you put it on, okay, it's a couple different ways. So I generally go like this, and then it covers my neck. You see, it covers my neck. And then when I put my hat on, and then my glasses, the sun. This is my vents. That's my air vents. The sun is not getting anywhere in here or on my neck. So I don't. Last year, I went the whole summer or the whole season without one sunburn. And I wore gloves on my hands too, because those boogers will get sunburned. So this thin material, why do we do that? When you sweat, it stays right here. Okay. When the wind blows, like if you're on a Ferris, you're gonna get that wind blow. You're gonna feel that. It's gonna cool you off. Be like, oh man, it's nice. And then same thing with a hat. It shades you, so when wind blows, you feel comfortable. If you were to feel the wind blow and you're standing in the sun with no protection, you're not gonna feel that great. But when you're standing in the shade, you're already cooler. Then you get the wind to blow, that's even better. Then you got this a little bit of wet, and now you're even a few degrees cooler. See what I'm saying? And then like these shirts, they're made by CCA. Yeah. Also at Academy, same material as the neck gaiter, same material. And then I wear a white V-neck cotton t-shirt underneath. So because that cotton t-shirt will lift this fabric off of your skin, and that water will sit right in there, and the wind blows through you. You dry right off. The pants are made almost out of the same material. But anyways, all right. That way I don't get hot and I can mow all day and not get my ass kicked. But it is a huge property, dude. Daredevil. Hook it on your trailer. Keep your truck tires on the asphalt. Back off your trailer. Yeah. This property is not for the average Joe who has self-propelled mower or riding mower with a car steering wheel. Well, there used to, you know what? Off the grid lifestyle. Before I started mowing this 2 years ago, there was a guy that'd been mowing it for however long. He would use a riding mower or a zero turn, from what Donna, the owner, was telling me. The blades were dull as hell. So what would happen is he's mowing. Now, have you ever mowed with blades? It just throws it on a riding lawn tractor. It just throws the grass out, just billows it out, but it doesn't like chop it up, right? And sometimes you got to go over a couple times. Well, he'd only come out like once a month. He'd always, well, I can't make it. I can't this. I can't that. Whatever. It's not that they wouldn't pay. They pay every time. In the summertime, I'm mowing every single week. They're paying $130 4 times a week. You do the math, or 4 times a week, 4 times a month, 4 weeks a month. You do the math. $130. So that's $30, $69, and $120. That's $520 for 1 month of mowing from one customer. Is that nuts or what? Is that $520? Yeah, it's $520. $520, $530, $530. I don't know. Anyways, so that's a lot of money. But when I came out the first time, I had footage. In fact, I do have some footage. It's go in my walk behind mowers or mowing tall grass, Kawasaki, the WG 14-36. That was a 36 walk behind with the sulky. I was actually down right here on this part, and and you could see all the dead grass laying over. Look, you could probably bale it. And it was, oh dude, that Kawasaki walk behind was the best walk behind I ever had. It had the same engine as my Z136, that 19 horse. But anyways, yeah, so when I came out here after a couple of mows, it started doing a lot better. Yeah, you gotta have a commercial mower out here. You know, when Bland's Lawn Equipment, when I called yesterday and I asked them, I said, hey, I'm looking at, I'd like to get an idea of a Toro grandstand. Now, the 3 years I've been buying some equipment here and there from Bland's Lawn Equipment. I got a couple dealers I go to, depending what part of town I'm on. I've never seen a Toro grandstand there. I bought Toro mowers from them before, and Encore mowers and steel equipment and Echo equipment and stuff. I've never seen a Toro grandstand there. So I asked him, I said, all right, I need a 36, and what are my engine options? He goes, well, you only got one engine option. Okay, what is it? He goes, 14 horsepower. I said, nope, that won't work. He said, you want the price? I said, no, I don't want the price. He goes, well, why not? I said, well, I wouldn't care if it was $4,000 for a brand new Toro grandstand, 36-inch cut. If it's got a 14 horsepower jack, that is not going to help me out. So when you buy mowers and you're doing, rigorous terrain like this, you have to think it's got to carry you on its back, and it's got to cut through all this tough grass, and it's got to have power to not only cut it, power to keep moving forward on uneven terrain through mud, and the power to discharge that grass out. And so don't, if you need to go up $1,000 because you get a four more horsepower engine, then you need to do that. So that's what we're gonna do with the Z136. We're gonna go with the same engine on this 48. It's the Vanguard 23 horse. So okay, I saw your videos on the walker mower. Now you should stop buying stuff and get a demo. Find something you like and buy it, then keep it for a while, like 320-ish hours. So yeah, well, the thing is, Ian, there's not a lot of demos around here. Like, they don't really happen. You have a Toro guy, but to get the dealership to communicate with the Toro guy, it's like tough. The Walker guy has probably been, in fact it is, the Walker demo guy for this region, his name's Lance, the nicest guy you'll ever meet. This dude knows so much information about walker mowers and about mowing and about power equipment. It's just, the guy is just fun to talk to. He's older than me. He's been in the game for a long time. He used to sell Kubota mowers a long time ago, and I called him. I went on the website and I submitted a request. I think it was like 2 days. He contacted me, said, hey, this is Lance with Walker, and anyways, this was last year when he got the mower stuck in my front yard. That was pretty cool. And then I went out there, so I knew what I was wanting to buy, but his schedule, my schedule, a little tough. I didn't try hard enough to set up a demo with that walker. But a lot of times I don't want to wait. When I have the money and I want something, I'll go and buy it. If it doesn't work out, I don't like it, I sell it, I go buy something else. I don't have any buyer's remorse. I don't worry about losing a few dollars because, you could have demoed that for free and then not bought that at all. You're right. But, I would have known in my mind, man, I wish I could have tried it out at least, this and that. Because sometimes doing a demo, because see, think about it this way. When you got the demo guy there and they're watching you, I guarantee you're not going to treat that machine the same way as if you're out on your own by yourself, nobody watching you. Hell no, you're not. You're worried about damaging it. You're worried about this or that. No. So when you want to do a demo, hey bro, drop the mower off my house, I'll get back to you later today. Take it by yourself. Don't do anything different that you do with the other machines. That's going to be a true demo. Like, there's no way you could use a walker on this property for it to look good. It's because it's too bumpy. There's too many ruts. There's too many uneven. There's too many obstacles. There's just too much. And to bag all this, fuck that, dude. There's just too much. Now, you could do open discharge. That would be pretty cool. But as much grass we went to, that's the thing. It's been a month since it's been a month since I've been here. A month. That walker would have choked going through some of this, 2 feet tall, thick grass. You'd have to go so slow, you know. That rear discharge on that model I had could not spit it out fast enough. And it only had an 18 horse. So I just don't think it would have worked. It would have been property specific, and I didn't think about that until after I used it on a couple properties, and even on, even my lawn, my backyard and front yard, it didn't do that great because of all the little dips and stuff. I think walkers really excel in properties that are smooth. But anyways, so yeah, but you're right about that, Ian. You are totally right, bro. You gonna sell the walker? Yes, Bazy, Texas. I am, brother. It's up $9,500 out the door. Fence needs a whole lot of cleaning. Yeah, you telling me, Jack. Off the grid, I could do that and clean it up for them, and I could charge them whatever, and they would pay. But it's like, I don't really want to do it. That kind of stuff, I wait till the winter time. When mowing slows down, I come out and do that. That big burn pile in the backyard, they're gonna pay me $120 or something like that, or maybe it's $75, I don't remember, just to come out with the garden hose, light that joker on fire, let it burn, and just watch it and make sure it doesn't, set stuff on fire. Just to sit here, I might bring my little small grill, fire it up, shoot live video, just talk. Ooh, that would be a great barbecue talk mowers or whatever. Okay, let's see here. You took a heck of a loss on that Ferris 15, almost $1,000. Yeah, you're telling me, dude. That's how bad I wanted that walker. I paid $2,943 or $63 on that FW15, and I sold it for $2,300. So I lost more than $1,000 on it. I lost whatever that difference is. Yeah, I only mowed 2 yards with it. I just didn't want to wait. I wanted that walker so bad. I was willing to lose money on it. And right now, I'm willing to lose money on this walker even for the exact same amount that it costs for another 36. Let's just say, for example, it was $7,000 out the door. Am I willing to drop my price from $9,500 to $7,000 out the door on the walker to run? Like if someone was to buy it today for $7,000, and that's what the 36 cost me out the door, I would do that because I want that 36 so bad. I want it back, but I want a brand new one, and I want the Vanguard engine because when my production or productivity has gone down so much by having that push mower mow the backyards, and I'm exhausted, dude. Well, not exhausted, but I'm not moving as quick as I wanted to. Let it cool down for 5 minutes. Yeah, you're probably right. The mower and truck. Stay hydrated, man. Even if you're using a stand-on mower, that is so true. But with what I'm wearing off the grid, you don't really feel the heat. Like the cool thing is, once it gets to about 85 degrees, you can't tell the difference between 85 and 100 degrees when you're wearing the outfits that I'm wearing. The only thing you feel is you're sweating more or you're not sweating as much. That's it. You don't feel the heat, and that's I've been wearing this stuff for 2 years now, and it's made a huge difference. Stay hydrated. At least demo Skag V Ride 2. I don't think you'll be. No, you're right. They're Bazy. Man, tell me how to say that because I don't know how to say that. You're right. Except I can't buy a Skag V Ride 2 because they're 37.25 inches wide. That won't work. It's a 1/4 inch too wide. You need a high horsepower, high blades, speed mower. I do, Tim. Look at LTD says, make the right choice, man. Right as in WRIGHT. Yeah, they got phenomenal mowers, and they're high priced just like Ferris. But the only thing I don't like, now I don't know about the new models, but when I looked at one 2 years ago, when you're standing on the platform and you wanted to change the height of the deck, you almost had to get off the thing because it's on the side and you can't really see the numbers that well. So either you're leaning way over trying to do, or you have to get off, look at it, do your deal, and then hop back on. I don't want to fool with that. I want everything to be right here within my elbow to elbow room, my AO, my area of operation. and go do whatever it is I'm doing. But it's one of those things. I don't want to buy it right, and then what if I like because they don't have the same suspension as Ferris, because Ferris is patent. To me, that's a huge deal. Now, if you guys watched earlier when I was mowing over here, and I talked about, hey, you can see good suspension when you're mowing. You see my head was real level, and the rest of my body was kind of doing this right here. So it's absorbing a lot of the shock, but it's a SRS, soft ride suspension. So you're hitting the bumps, but it's hitting it soft. You're feeling it softly. It's just like a boom, boom, not a boom, boom, boom. Some mowers that don't have the suspension, dude, they beat you up bad. I've had those, and we're going to talk about every single mower I've ever owned on another video. I'm going to tell you the make, the model, what I like, didn't like about it, walk behind, push mower, zero turn, stand on mower, side discharge, mulch back. I'm going to tell you everything about every mower I've ever owned, which is about 12 or 13 in the last 3 years. Let's see here. You need a Walker MB with a Vanguard 37. You know what, Tim? You're right. I think a larger Walker, like a T23 or T25i or whatever these bigger guys are, with a lot more horsepower would make a difference. 52 inch, yeah, those kinds of things. But I'd only be able to use it on 3 properties. Just the multiple acre properties, that's it. So it would never pay for itself. For as long as I own it, it would never pay for itself. Because I wouldn't be able to use it every single day, unfortunately. Ferris missed the mark with that Ferris missed the mark with the FW. Should have been a twin. Well, actually, the real Miller man, I was thinking about that the other day. A lot of people don't like I say a lot of people, only a couple people, one person in particular. What's his name? Frank? No. Something Bailey, I think. I don't know. Anyways, someone really was giving me a hard time about that review I did with the Kubota and the FW15 last week when it was raining. And they were like, oh yeah, that's the worst, review and blah, blah, blah. And, you don't even know how to use that mower, and it's not a push mower, it's a walk behind. But it's like, I know that guy. I know that. The whole point of that video was to show, because I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm not sponsored by anybody. No, I don't get free stuff from anybody. I get discounts from my dealer to go and buy something, but that's it, But like with Ferris and stuff and other people who do reviews, you got to be careful, man, because a lot of times they're not going to give you if anything, that I like or don't like, or if it's easy to do, or man, that's a pain to do, I'm going to bring that to the table. I'm going to tell you. But for those who are on the different groups and sponsors or whatever, people running Ferris, this and that, who get a lot of, this and that extra stuff, they're not going to tell you those types of things. They're going to make it look so easy, everything that they do that's Ferris, or everything they do that's Skag or Walker or Ride or whatever, because that's their group, man. If something's a pain in the ass, they're not going to tell you that it's a pain in the ass, because they want that connection with that brand, and I don't do that. So when I was operating that FW15 in my front yard when it was raining compared to the Kubota, now those two mowers, there are no comparisons. One is a walk behind mower, one is a push mower, okay? Two differences. What I was showing was a couple things. What I was showing was the operating of a push mower compared to the operating of a walker with a walk behind mower with one hydro. And this other guy was saying, man, that mower doesn't have a hydro gear, it's got this, that. I'm like, okay, bro, well, look, I see the gearbox right here, it says hydro gear on it. I was repeating every single thing the manufacturer on ferrismowers.com was saying, and he was telling me everything I was saying was wrong. I'm like, look, if you have a problem with that, go talk to Ferris and tell them, hey, look, you're wrong. So I don't really want to hear it. Oh my gosh, it went on and on. Finally, I said, after like the 15th comment from him, I said, you know what? Why don't you sit back in your favorite easy chair, eat some Cheetos, and enjoy your favorite reruns of Golden Girls, because I'm about tired of having this conversation with you, man. Anyway, so that was kind of it. But anyway, so on that FW15, and my dealer, William, from Ferris, he says, what do you think about it? I saw you post a review. I said, well, I tell you what, brother, I think they missed the boat on that mower, and here's why. I think that FW15 is a hybrid. Now, it doesn't say it's a hybrid. That's my opinion. I feel it's a hybrid, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it has the characteristics and the looks of a push mower, but the functionality of a walk behind and the weight of a walk behind. It's 280 pounds dry before you put fuel in there, okay? Not even a big fuel tank anyways, but 280 pounds. The Kubota push mower is 125 pounds. A Honda GSX or whatever they call it, if you get, well, even if you got the composite deck versus the kind of a light metal deck, they're still maybe 30 to 50 pounds, you know. So comparing the Kubota and the FW15, the FW15 has one hydro. It should have had two. Because even if they thought about, okay, well, if we put two on there, instead of putting two hydros, let's put one hydro, forward and reverse, and give the operator an option to have casters. That'll be on the other model that's coming out, about 350 bucks more. Casters that are coming out the front wheel. That they thought, and this is just my opinion, they thought they could cut the corner by saving money. Which is more expensive, adding casters or adding a second hydro? Probably adding casters. So they thought, okay, one caster or two casters and one hydro, you can turn. Okay, here's the thing, it's not going to be that easy, because one hydro gear is turning both rear wheels at the same time, whether you're going forward or backwards. Now the operator little push knob thing I thought was pretty cool. I liked that. You know, it was real easy to operate forward and back. What I didn't like is most walk behinds, which I've had a couple walk behinds, you got your hands on the handlebars and you hit that gear selector at the bottom like into neutral, then you could pull it backwards and turn it. You could do all that. Okay. You can't do that with this thing. So I was thinking two things. It should have had a second hydro. So you could steer left and right quickly, you know, then you wouldn't need casters. Because when I was trying to push that thing around my flower bed, a little S-curve flower bed, that thing was a pain in the ass. You couldn't, because it wanted to go forward because it was heavy and it had a lot of torque in it. You can't just, you know, like a push mower, just push it and then go over a couple inches and walk that way. You couldn't do that because it's so heavy. And I was trying to convey that in that video, and people tell me today, oh man, I don't think you understand how that, you know, mower works. You obviously don't have experience with mowers, you know, and fuck, they ain't never seen my channel before. It's like, okay, dude, you know, and they're like, you know, I don't think you've ever used that type of mower before, and it's a walk behind mower and this and that, blah blah. I'm like, motherfucker probably don't even have one or even use that one, so you really can't say anything. And the fact that I'm giving you first-hand experience with it, what I'm feeling, what's going on, what kind of turf I'm on, is it wet or not wet? You know it was wet because it was fucking raining. So, you know, it here is raining on the phone, raining on me. I'm mowing in the fucking rain. You can see water fucking gushing down the street. So you know that grass is wet. And I'm not cutting it no 3 inches, 4 inches. People don't cut that shit here in Texas like they do up north. They want it cut. What are they doing? They're cutting that bitch at 2 inches. That's like that. You women know what 2 inches is. Anyways, so, and so I was trying to, you know, put that across in that video. Turning it around, I wasn't trying to make it all easy to turn around. I was doing it how I do everything. It was a pain in the ass to turn around. Now, here's the thing. If you want to turn it around without moving it, like, in other words, like turn on a dime, like on one wheel, you could do that. You don't have to pull the disengage thing. Those wheels will turn counterclockwise of each other, and it'll be so easy to turn that way. But here's the downside of that. That machine is 280 pounds. That bitch is heavy. So that means you got to push down on it, but it is very balanced. You could push down with 2 fingers like that on the handlebar and it'll tip up. I like that. Plus, when the handlebar is all the way down, it'll stay up like that, so you can do whatever you want underneath it. Just make sure you put something underneath it so it don't fall down on you. But, so it was a pain. 1 or 2 passes, okay. But doing that over and over, that is not a mower you want to use every day on properties that size if you're in the lawn business. You will get wore out. I tried it on one property. I bought the mower, went home, tried it on a corner lot while I was working that day, and I was like, fuck this, dude. I did not want to use it again at all. I was ready to sell that bitch right there. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to use it on one more property, and I'm going to see, okay, because you know what? I love Ferris. I love all kinds of power equipment, really. I love mowers. But I love Ferris, and I wanted to try it again. But I'm I love Ferris, but I'm not afraid to say, hey, look, I don't like that. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't like that for what I'm looking for. So I tried it on another property and do the same thing. It's just it cuts pretty good. It's got a lot of torque. Now remember, you're at 10.5 horsepower on that mower. Okay, so it's a lot of power. It's shaft driven, so from the gearbox with the hydro gear. So you're getting almost all that torque and power just about. Whether it was belt driven, like some of the other mowers, you're gonna lose some of that. So you got the twin blades. It's tearing it up, and I don't know who that is that's parked behind me. We're gonna lock the door. We're not exactly in the safest of places, but that's not the people that live here, so I really don't know what they're doing. I still got to blow the street off. But anyways, so going back and forth, turning it, one row, then turning it, then the other, you get wore out. If they had two hydros, and if the little pin you pull to disengage, the gear so you can move it freely, if they had that routed all the way up to the handlebar, you can pull that. Oh my gosh, dude, that would be amazing. I would pay $3,500 if they did those two things. Second hydro, and then had the disengage pin rerouted all the way up to the handlebar. Imagine being able to do that. You get to the end of the row, pull your pin, whip that bitch around, and go back that way. Drop the pin down, go back that way. Imagine how easy that would be. Now, you go and take this FW15 and you try mowing, efficient as you can if you're doing lawns every day with this mower, and then you go use a push mower. You're going to find that a push mower is going to be a lot more productive because, one, it's lighter. You're not going to get fatigued as quick. Two, you can maneuver it a little quicker. And then you hear people say, well, it's not a push mower, it's a walk behind. Yes, I know that. But it doesn't have the full functionality of a walk behind because a walk behind has what? 2 hydros on it. You get what I'm saying? So, Ferris, if you're listening, I would scrap what you have right now. You don't even need casters on it, or if you want to put it on, that's fine. You need a second hydro, and you need the disengage pin rerouted up to the handlebars. And actually, anybody could probably do that, but on that part, that would be the most badass 32-inch walk behind hybrid mower like ever. Okay, so that's why I sold it. So yeah, I took more than $1,000 loss on that. All right, you can change the decks on the walker for different jobs. That's true, Tim, but I don't want, and I thought about that, well, I could buy a 54-inch deck, for a few $1,000s. I wouldn't use that often, but then you got to store it. But then I need a mower that can do everything, and that's that when you're out, I run solo. I've been running solo for 3 years, other than the summer of 2017, where I had a couple people work for me, and it just, they're waiting to pick their kids up off the school bus. Okay. All right, so it just wasn't that, sorry, I got sidetracked. So I want equipment that's versatile. I want equipment that I can go on a nice, pretty lawn, throw the mulch kit on there, or the side discharge plate, because I don't use a mulch kit. I use mulch blades and side discharge plate. That's it. I took out the baffles underneath, or the dividers, or whatever. I don't even use that, because I need to be able to hop to a property like this, take off the plates, discharge as much grass volume as I can, and then go back to another property, slap on that side discharge plate with the wing nuts, and go on and cut. If you have all the dividers and the baffles and whatever they're called inside the deck that channels everything to be mulched up, you can't come out here and zip right down this grass and cut it and have that much volume come out. It won't let you. You're going to be here twice as long. So that's why I did it that way. Anyways, I need a mower to be able to go and do that, and then come right out here all in the same day without changing decks. That's why I bought the 48 and I had a 36. 48, I can mow an acre with the 48 in about 45 minutes, maybe a little under that. This terrain, it takes me about an hour because there's hills, there's this, there's that. It's soft ground, it slows you down. My other acre I haven't filmed for you guys. That's Chuck's property. I mow about 98% of that. There's a lot of trimming, about the same amount of trimming. That's flat land. I can mow that bitch in 45 minutes with the 48, about an hour with the 36. Anyways, let's see here. You can get free trimmer line. I can get free trimmer line. I have a ton of trimmer line. I'm kidding. I personally choose the Ferris. I have a Z2 52-inch and fixing to buy the Z130. Bro, the real Miller man. Look at, because my dealer William was telling me, he's like, hey man, you know, are you sure you want the Vanguard 23 horsepower? I was like, well, yeah, that's what I want on my new 36. He says, well, when you get a chance, go home, look at the Kawasaki as well, and compare the torque rating. Now, I didn't even think about this. I'm like, dude. So the torque rating on the Kawasaki is in the lower RPMs, which is what you want, because you want, think of it as cruising speed and like a kick down gear, you know, when you're going up hills for a truck, okay, or a car. So you want that cruising speed, you know, where it's cutting real good, you know, when it hits that resistance of that thick, nasty, gnarly grass, those RPMs drop, and that's where the torque is really just plowing into that stuff. You don't want your best torque rating at the high RPM. That means when it's bogging down, it's now giving you less than. So I didn't even think about that. So he says, so 19 horsepower. See, you could have horsepower. You can have 19 horsepower and like fucking 30 foot-pounds of torque. You can have 23 horsepower and 18 foot-pounds of torque. It's all in the gearing, I believe. So, and I didn't even think about truck pulling the same way. Diesels is pulling, you know. So yeah, when you see a diesel like the old L6 Cummins, they don't make them no more. They're fucking most badass. You can, you know, those bitches will be 600 horse. It's insane. You pull the damn, you know, your mother-in-law's mobile home with that damn thing. But remember that. So think about that. High horsepower isn't everything. It's the torque, and you want to see where your torque rating is. The best, you know, the highest torque rating, you want that in that lower RPM. So, you know, maybe next year, you know, I might buy a Z2 or a Z3. Man, that'd be badass. I have a Z1, I have a 36, a 48, and like a 60 something for the 72. That would be awesome. Dude, come out and just 2 passes and this whole ditch would be done. That would be awesome. Okay, what's up, brother? I see you there, Melvin. 36 standard intensity, 19 horsepower for FX Kawasaki. Standard. Oh, maybe the intensity, is that the right model, I guess? Yeah, it's the same price you're going to pay for the 19 horsepower Kawasaki on the 36. What up, Texas? What's up, Kathy? Don't let the haters get under your skin, man. Yeah, no, you're so right, brother. It doesn't bother me too much, and I don't mind, you know, chatting and explain. You know, they like a lot of times, you know, people don't want to read the comments, and I totally get it. You know, because that takes a lot of time. Like, oh man, dude, your review sucks. Okay, maybe you didn't watch the whole review, or maybe, I don't know, you didn't read the other comment where I explained why I did something a certain way. So I totally get that, and you know, it's no sweat off my back. You know, I don't actually, compared to some channels, I don't have a lot of haters. You know, a couple people, you know, who voice their opinion on the videos, which is okay, but they're not jerks. You know, there's people, well, why did you do that instead of that? Don't you know this is easier? Those kind of comments. And that's okay too. There's, you know, they're not being ugly. And again, you're reading a text message, so you're going to feel defensive naturally about that. But that person may not be coming across that way, you know, at all. It's just how you're reading it, and then it triggers your emotions. So you have to think about that too. They may not try to be ugly. All right. I still want the FW15 comparing with what I use 21 shot. I'm telling you, brother. Maybe you can find a Ferris dealer that'll let you try it out first, and give it, you know, mow yourself a couple properties, and you know, see how you feel after that. You know, I got to get back to work. All right, brother, we'll see you later, man. All right, now I know we had more messages than this. Let's see here. What we got? Oh, we got to keep it this way. All right, well, I think maybe, yeah, I don't know, anybody got any more other questions? Top chat, live chat. Let's see here. Yeah, oh, here we go, off the grid. All right. Well, we've been doing this a little over 2 hours. I got to head to Magnolia to do, I'm going to meet my uncle there, my wife's uncle there, and we're going to do an estimate on trimming 12 trees, and possibly taking down 1 or 2 if they're dead. Now, about the excavation, talk about that real quick. About the excavation project. So I decided to contract that out because Ron wanted me to install some culverts, and I didn't really want to do that. So, and I don't have experience in that, and you got to make sure stuff is set right, and you don't want to be flooding people out. So, I contacted one of my customers, and he says, "Yeah, I know somebody who does that." Called him, came out, gave a bid of 8,200. Ron was going to pay me 10 grand to do everything I had mentioned and just to clean out the culverts. But as soon as he said, "Hey, can we drop in some culverts?" I'm like, I don't really want to do that. So sometimes they're wrong. I live where they are manufactured in Maryland. Not a fan. All right, I'm going to get back to you here in just a second, Miller Man. So, and one, I don't like yellow. It's going to clash with all my red and black stuff. I can't have yellow. Anyway, so I contracted that out. They came out, give a bid of $8,200, and they did it the following week. They did it this week. They did a great job, and I'm glad it saved the customer money. And they both tried to say, "Hey, you want us to give you some money, for referring it?" And I said, "No, I don't want it. I don't want any money, because originally I was going to take the money and do the work, but we changed because we wanted to add culverts, and I'd rather make sure that those customers are well taken care of, when it floods. So I rather not make a dime and pass the work on to a pro who knows what they're doing with that kind of stuff, who's DOT certified and in compliance." And can say, "Yeah, the water's going to divert this way with no problem, so many gallons per minute or whatever." I rather that happen than me doing it and be like, "Well, and then something bad happens." So I still cut their property every 2 weeks. That's 120. It takes me an hour to do their property. So, and that's the property that they're giving me, that trailer, that yellow trailer. Well, it's kind of rusted, but it's like 18 or 19 foot long, and it holds like, he said he used to pull a John Deere backhoe that had over 100 horsepower engine, so it's heavy, double axle. So I can't wait to restore that. All right, stay okay. First mowers in my dream mower. I'm telling you, dude, I've never operated a right, and I wouldn't mind giving them a fair chance because I'm a fair guy. I would have to bring them out to some. I know they'll cut good on my prime yards, but I need to be out in places like this to see what happens. Because Ferris's philosophy when they make their mowers is to give you the best quality of cut, okay, through the most different types of terrain and the most comfortable ride, so you can increase productivity. So, with that being said, you're making a mower that can do good across all types of terrains versus a mower like a walker that is just phenomenal on really one or two different types of terrains. So that's the big difference. That's how I look at Ferris, and that's Ferris's philosophy when they make their products. Sure, some have the suspension and some don't. Remember my Ferris FW or F60Z 36-inch zero turn? That was also 37 inches wide. That did not have suspension, but I wish it did. So it was a little bumpy, plus I got it stuck once or twice. The zero turns just stick in the ground, so they get stuck so much quicker, than a stand-on mower, and in less conditions. So that's why I got rid of them. I tried 4 of them, 4 different zero-turn mowers by different companies, maybe 5, sorry. And I had a Toro MX 5050, a Toro SS 3225, a Kubota Z121S, a Ferris F60Z, and the Ferris IS 700. I don't know how many that is, but however many that is, that's what I had. And every one of them fucking got stuck so easy on the same properties that I don't get stuck with a stand-on mower in worse conditions. I don't get that. But anyways, yeah, right mowers are good. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it, brother. Is Ferris made by Snap-on? Actually, no, Ferris is made by Ferris. They've been making mowers and products since I think early 1900s. I don't know if they started out making farm equipment or what. I don't remember. You have to check the history of them. But no. See, Snap-on is owned by Briggs and Stratton, I think. Because Briggs and Stratton own like fucking almost everybody. So they bought out Red Max. Husqvarna bought Red Max. Briggs bought Snap-on. They bought Ferris. They bought all these different companies. So when a company buys a name, doesn't mean they make it. No. Ferris still makes Ferris. They just may be owned by another company. That's, you know, like MTD came in and bought everybody. All the, you know, they bought Boland's, they bought Yard Machine or Yardman or whatever. They bought this, they bought that, they bought uh, all these different things, and they made them cheaper, and then they sucked, and then they didn't sell, and they're like, how come these aren't selling? Well, it's because they suck. Why do they break? Well, it's because they suck. So, you know, anyways, but no, they just own the company, I believe, but they don't make them. It's still made by Ferris. Snap-on, not Snapper. No, I knew what you meant. Yeah, it was a Snapper. I've watched many videos of yours, but have never subscribed, and I don't know why, but I just did. Well, thank you, Real Miller Man. Okay, so back to Wright. I wouldn't mind trying to Wright. I can't remember. When I was in the market 2 years ago, I went to outdoor power equipment in the Woodlands, which is up the street from the house. And they had some Wrights. They sell Wrights, Gravely's, something else I don't remember. They had a lot of Gravely's. In fact, I bought a Gravely from, there's another zero turn I forgot. A Gravely ZT34 I tried. Tried it for about a week and a half. It wasn't mowing right off the bat. I called them the very next day. I said, hey, this thing isn't mowing right. It's making this horrible vibrating, you know, thing. I did a video on it. I was like, oh, I know, it must be this, that. I said, no, brother, there's something wrong with it. Well, you know, is this your first zero turn? I was like, no, it's not my first zero turn. I know what I'm doing. Anyway, so I took it back. They said, yeah, it was a bad spindle from the get-go. They put a new one on there, and it was smooth after that. But I got rid of it because it was too clanky. The deck had 4 or 3. I can't remember if the deck had 3 points of contact or 4. It's always better to have 4. Some of them, they'll have, think of it, a triangle. They have a point of contact here, here, and here, and it'll just, you know, it won't do that well. 4 points of contact is always better because that deck will always remain level, other than the little shifting, you know, that it needs to do. But anyways, I forgot about that mower. But I do want to try Wright. So at that time, I was looking at Wright, and they're 34. They offer electric start and they offer pull start versions. And generally, it's like $1,200-$1,500 difference. That's a lot of difference. But you know, they had a 36-inch stand-on or 32-inch stand-on pull start, and it was like $6,000. I'm like, geez. So their 32 with electric start was like $7,000, $7,500. I'm like, come on, man. Anyways, I just didn't do it. You know, I just didn't do it. So shortly after that is when I got Ferris. But anyways, but I would like to give them a try out just for experience and to see what it's like, you know. But all right, see, X-Mark, have you tried them? I have not. I know X-Mark and Toro. Toro bought out X-Mark, and you know, I'm not a fan of Toro. For the couple of machines that I had, my experience, I buy everything brand new. So, except my first Ferris 36, I bought it with only 20 hours on it, and it had 260, and I sold it. It was still young. But I have not tried X-Mark. I don't even know whether there's an X-Mark dealer. I have no idea. But no, I haven't. I know they may. Oh, X-Mark dealer. Yeah, one of the Toro dealers where I asked yesterday about the grandstand, they had an X-Mark Staris out there. Real goofy looking thing. Here's one thing I didn't like about the Staris. When you're standing on it, most stand-on mowers, you can stand straight up, okay? Now here's one thing. Let's talk about the platform real quick on a Ferris. The platform on a Ferris, now you can adjust where the pin is here, okay? Because it's got the little cradle like this, and it's got the shock in here and a pin that kind of goes up and down like this, a doohickey, I don't know what it's called. So it's connected here. This little half moon shape here has got all these different holes. You could take that pin and you could put it anywhere in here. The difference is it'll do this right here with that deck, okay? The heavier you are, you want the mower up, so that way when you're standing on it, it'll push down and then it'll give you that suspension. So the lighter you are, you know, it gives you height and then it allows room for that suspension. So the lighter that you are, you can have it further down if you want. So And then the pad is like, you know, you got straight up. The pad on a Ferris is a couple degrees forward, just a couple degrees. Okay, the Exmark Staris, when I stood on it, the platform was like this. I'm like, okay, I don't even like that. That's like way too much. And then the pad was like this. I'm like, whoa, here is Ferris, and then here is Staris. Ferris here and Staris here. I did not like that. You could not adjust that. So that means when you're in that position, your feet are in this position right here. That means your calves are going to start getting more of a workout because you got all that pressure on your toes trying to keep the top part of your body back. Well, when you push down on your toes, your calf muscles start flexing. And you're going to get tired. You're going to get wore out. The springs on those things are like this, and it's just not the same kind of suspension. Could that be adjusted? I don't know. I didn't stick around to find out. But all I know is when I first stood on it, I was like, nope. Within 5 seconds, I got off. It's just, you know, but I would like to do it again, actually, and I would like to take it out to mow it, but I don't think I would like that, you know. But anyways, all right, guys, I think I'm gonna get off here. I still gotta go do the estimate and then pick up the kids later. So I appreciate every one of you guys watching. If I can download this video to my computer, I'm gonna make another version that is I'm gonna cut out all the talking part here, and then the other version is going to be just the mowing part, and it's going to be commentated because there's some things I want to talk about. So, but I appreciate all you guys watching and sticking around and asking questions and supporting the channel, all that kind of cool biz. We'll do some more live mowing again. It's Friday. You guys enjoy. No line trimming. I already did it off the grid. I had to have the phone charge, so I was trimming while it was charging so I can run you guys live on the mowing. I couldn't do both. Anyway, so I'm going to blow this stuff off and get out of here. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.